This can't be possible, my friend. I'm thrilled with this big decision by the Eagles. Just when everything seemed under control, 3 moves changed everything. A potential high-profile departure, a rookie gaining ground, and a wake-up call on offense. If you love the Eagles, like, subscribe, and stay until the end, because what's coming next will blow your mind. The countdown to the new season has begun, and in Philadelphia, all eyes are on one name, Yolan Herz. After a campaign in which Saquon Barkley shone with historic numbers, it's natural to imagine that the Eagles' offense revolved around the running back, but as the weeks pass, a new reality begins to emerge. The pressure on Hertz has never been greater, and now he will have to prove, more than ever, that he is the true pillar of this franchise. Sports Illustrated, through journalist Matt Verderum, recently released a projected quarterback ranking for the end of the 2025 season. Hertz appears 8th, which is no small feat considering the current level of the NFL, but this placement comes with a clear subtext. He's among the greats, but there's still a rung to climb, and that ladder will be deeper in 2025, as everything indicates the offense will have to move away from its almost exclusive reliance on Barkley and rely much more on Hertz's Armand mind. Last season, Hertz didn't even reach 3,000 passing yards. Many of his 14 rushing touchdowns came on the Eagles' famous short power play, the QB sneak, where the offensive line pushes the quarterback to secure valuable results. He did what needed to be done, but it wasn't an aerial spectacle. Still, when the Eagles needed him most, he delivered. In the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, Barkley was completely neutralized with 52 yards on 25 carries. It was at that moment that Hertz took control of the game, throwing for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and averaging 10 yards per attempt, leading a crushing 42-22 victory. This game not only secured the title, but also showed that, when the moment calls for it, Hertz rises to the occasion. But 2025 will be different. Barkley's magical season of at least 2,000 carries will be repeated on league history proves it. Barry Sanders, in 1997, and Adrian Peterson, in 2012, are the only 2 running backs to approach that mark twice. Both fell the following year. The highest mark after a 2,000-yard season was 1,491, achieved by Sanders. This means that Barkley, as talented as he is, will likely experience a natural decline in production, and that puts the focus squarely on Hertz. Coach Nick Sirianni has already signaled his intention to better distribute the plays, sharing touches with other running backs, and also giving Hertz more space to throw the ball, but this has its dangers. In 2023, Hertz threw a career-high 538 times, and finished with 15 interceptions. Former coordinator Brian Johnson's poorly structured offensive scheme forced the quarterback to pursue long passes without the best preparation or strategic play. It was a system that didn't favor Hertz, and the statistics reflected that. In the previous 2 seasons. In 2021 and 2022, Hertz threw 432 and 460 times, respectively, with the same combined number of interceptions, 15, but much more control of the game. Sirianni's ideal projection for 2025 would be to keep Hertz at around 450 passes per season, balancing production and reliability, and allowing him to be more assertive in his decisions in the pocket. Hertz finished last season with 3,533 total yards and 32 combined touchdowns, a number any team would happily accept, but not overwhelming enough to warrant MVP status. What makes him special, however, is his ability to raise the bar in the most important moments. He has 6 wins and 8 playoff games over the last 3 seasons, with 9 fourth-quarter comebacks, numbers that demonstrate leadership, composure, and emotional control. In this new environment, with Barkley receiving fewer touches and increasing responsibility in the passing game, Hertz will have the perfect opportunity to silence critics who say he only functions as part of a system and not as the undisputed commander of the offense. With a new structure promising more creativity and efficiency, 2025 could be the year Yolan Herz finally takes his place among the elite quarterbacks with full authority. But as Hertz prepares to shoulder even more weight, behind the scenes in Philadelphia, a veteran newcomer already senses he might be left out before he even steps onto the field. The competition for space in the backfield is fiercer than ever, and the next chapter involves a name who needs to prove he's still got the energy. While Yolan Herz faces the challenge of leading the Eagles offense with a greater focus in 2025, another intense battle is unfolding behind the scenes, and it could cost a seasoned NFL veteran dearly. Former Green Bay Packers defensive end A.J. Dillon arrived in Philadelphia with moderate expectations, but the reality is stark. He's already on the roster bubble before the preseason even begins. According to Philly Voice reporter Jimmy K, Dillon appears in the at-risk category of the projected 53-man roster that will play during the regular season, and the situation could get worse. Dillon was signed in a low-key off-season move, signing a short 1-year contract for just $1.34 million. The idea was simple: bring depth to the backfield and experience to help preserve Barkley's body over a long season. But the plan quickly began to show cracks. Dillon hasn't played since August 2023, after suffering a serious neck injury that ruled him out for the entire 2024 season, and when you look at his recent numbers, concern grows. After a promising start to his career with the Packers, he was selected in the second round of the 2020 draft. Dillon accumulated 2,428 rushing yards and 16 touchdowns in 4 years, but the decline has been steady. From 803 rushing yards in 2021, he dropped dropped to 770 in 2022, and just 613 yards in 2023, averaging 3.4 yards per attempt, the lowest of his career. For a running back whose physical strength has always been his differentiator, this decline is concerning, and that's where the main factor threatening his starting spot comes in. Will Shipley? The young Heat is coming on strong. Drafted in 2024, Shipley impresses with his explosive skill set, with a 4.39-second 40-yard dash, sharp field vision, and reliable hands for short and medium receptions. He's exactly the kind of player the Eagles' offensive coordinator is looking for to complement Barkley, and he's already proven what he can do. His 57-yard run in the NFC Championship game and his performance as a receiver in Week 18, where he totaled 65 yards, showed he's more than promising he's productive. Furthermore, Shipley offers tactical options. He can be used on third downs, screen plays, and changes of pace in the offense. On the other hand, Dillon is a power runner who needs volume to gain pace and who lacks the same agility to catch passes or break through the sidelines. In the Eagles' current scheme, which seeks to preserve Barkley and diversify the offense, Shipley fits like a glove. Dillon, not so much. Recent history also counts against the veteran. Dillon, at 6 feet 0 inches and 245 pounds, has the physical tools, but his health remains a major question mark. The Eagles prefer to invest in younger, more affordable players with growth potential, especially at running back, where the window of productivity is often short. If Dillon fails to demonstrate explosiveness, agility, and physical security in practice and training camp, the coaching staff may decide to move on from him, and that's even before the first week of preseason games. But there's still a glimmer of hope. If Dillon proves he's recovered his fitness, displays good vision, and resembles even if only remotely the 2021 player, he could earn his spot as RB3 and become a solid option for goal line or short yardage situations. After all, he still carries the confidence of being an excellent pass blocker, something valued in more complex offensive schemes. But the clock is ticking, and roster cuts are looming. The duel between Shipley and Dillon is far from symbolic. He represents the clash between two philosophies: confidence in explosive youth, or the cautious experience of a veteran seeking one more chance. It's a race against time, and training camp will be decisive in determining who stays and who goes. But while this battle rages behind the scenes, an established player continues to make an impact on every defense in the league. A receiver who not only changed the Eagles' offense, but also transformed the team's physical and emotional identity. A true nightmare for any defensive coordinator, and the next topic reveals why. If there's one player who embodies the Eagles' identity, it's A.J. Brown, and now that's been officially recognized. In ESPN's 2025 rankings, Brown appeared as one of the top 5 wide receivers in the NFL, and for good reason. According to a veteran AFC scout, he's simply a nightmare to play against. At 6 feet 1 inch and 230 pounds, Brown combines strength and explosiveness like few others in the league. Since arriving in Philadelphia in 2022, he's had 3 consecutive seasons with over 1,000 yards, 2 of which were over 1,400, and most impressively, this is in an offense focused on the run game and where he receives fewer balls than other top receivers. Even so, he makes an impact in every game. His chemistry with Yolan Herz is one of the strongest in the NFL. In games with Brown on the field, the Eagles had a 16-1 record and averaged 31.5 points per game. Without him, just 2, and averaging 18 points. His impact goes far beyond the numbers. Brown is the emotional and physical tone of Philadelphia's offense, and the AFC scout was full of praise. He shows up when needed most. He's as strong as ever, and he's fast enough, maybe a little slower than before, but that doesn't matter. He's still a monster. With Hertz under pressure, and the roster facing tough competition, A.J. Brown will be a rock, the force that keeps the Eagles' offense afloat, a leader on and off the field, and above all, a nightmare no defense wants to face. With Hertz taking over, Shipley gaining ground, and Dillon in the bubble, do you think the Eagles have the ideal backfield to contend for the Super Bowl, or are they still missing an impactful piece to complete this offense? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. But later, I will come back to update you with the latest news from the Eagles.